secondary check.
Tapes, Anthony.
Well,
I'm older than you, and I don't still say tapes.
well, these computers are so old. They might
I
be
like
running on tape.
what I like is you holding Anthony to his professionalism. Like, we need to hold, like, he's not used to actually having a real professional here.
So, see, we're recording and you didn't tell us.
No,
It's a joke. We're good.
I'm actually broadcasting to a private YouTube channel so I can check and make sure that everything.
Right, with all those viewers that we have that are watching.
Millions.
Well, it's private.
You know,
I actually, my feeling is like, even if I assume everything is being recorded all the time.
No,
So, okay, I'll just deal. Like, if it
We'll
came out, I guess it was
we'll
meant to
figure
be.
it
It
out.
doesn't matter.
We'll figure it out. Can you full screen it?
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, guys, whenever you're ready.
Okay, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, 3, 2. Welcome to Va Voo. I'm Jen Herrera alongside Brett Stern. And Brett, we keep saying Va Voo, Va Voo, Va Voo. And we're going to explain what Va Voo is.
Very exciting.
How we came up with it, what it's all about shortly. But first, I want to let everybody know who you are and take them through this very impressive path that you and your family have been on. Was it 70?
72 years.
All right.
72 years.
Go for it.
So, my name is Brett Stern. I'm excited to be here. I love working with Jen and feel lucky to have you a part of this company. We, as a family, have been around, our business has been around 72 years. Historically, we've sold people like JCPenney's and Kohl's and Sears. My grandfather started the business, and then my dad, and now me. I have been here for 30 years. My grandfather, when they started their business, they were jobbers. So they would go over to buy stuff here and go over to the Bahamas and sell stuff. I'm teaching you stuff here. You don't even know.
Jobbers. I didn't know that one. I love it.
So jobbers like almost like Adam, like you buy merchandise and you just sell it at a good price point. And my dad was a salesman. He would go around just trying to make a living with my grandfather. And then my dad started importing overseas. He went up to New York and he went into an office and started importing. JCPenney had an office here in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would literally go there every single day. And he would sit outside of the office of the guy who was, I guess, the general manager of the JCPenney stores here in Miami. He got the guy to buy his merchandise.
I love that.
Once he was in there, he would go there every day and use their phone to call all the JCPenney stores. So right now, JCPenney buys, they have 600 stores now. They buy for all 600 stores through one person. But back then, every store had a buyer. They had 1,000 stores. Every store had a buyer. And so he would go there, call the stores every day, say, hey, buy my merchandise. They would buy it. He would come back to the warehouse and pick it. And it was him, my grandfather, my grandmother, and one employee. And they would pick all the orders and ship everything out. And it was a lot. It was that way for a long time. And so when I graduated college, I went into the family business. I walked in day one and I said, this is crazy. Like, it was so old school.
So when you were a kid, you had no idea. I mean, obviously you had an idea of what they were doing, but did you see it? Did you ever go to work with him, or was it until that point after you graduated college where, like, firsthand you were kind of like, what is happening?
It was kind of like, I played tennis when I was younger. So when I was a kid, it was all about playing tennis. I played tennis in college. I was at a boarding school for tennis. So like everything.
That was your world.
That was my world. That's all I knew. I knew we had enough money for me to play tennis and travel. But, and I also knew my dad had this successful business, and like, okay, that's what I'm going to do when I get older. I'm going to go into this family business, and it's so easy. And like,
as kids, you don't realize the sweat equity, right? In addition to everything else that
not only you have no idea. You just kind of like, you look at your parents, you go, oh, they're on a pedestal, and like, okay, we have money and everything is great, and this is what it is. And so I thought it's going to be so easy. And really I look back now and I say one of the biggest mistakes I ever made was not working somewhere else for 5 years, because you come in, you learn everything from my dad. And so it's just kind of like, okay, is this all there is?
Right.
And so, but I came in, it was my grandfather, we maybe had 10 people working for us at that point. They didn't really have computers. This was like 1994 where people had computers at that point. And so I was just like, okay. And then my dad didn't really give me any instruction. It was like, just listen to me, make calls. And so we kind of figured it out as we went along.
Walking in. Okay. So you're done playing tennis. maybe not in this episode, but we'll talk about like athlete's life, right? And kind of the trajectory.
We
because
should,
it's
for sure.
definitely different
Yes.
than, the normal graduating high school, go to college and get a degree. So you've been an athlete, you've been a tennis player. I mean, tennis was your life, living it and breathing it. All of a sudden you're in the workforce. There's no computer, right? It's old school pen and paper, which even for the time there should have been a computer.
Yes.
Did you ever have a moment, Brett, when you were like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
This was, well, first of all, I didn't know that I could do anything else. So I didn't, it was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But my dad sent me on the road to Ohio with one of our sales reps. He was probably like 75 years old.
Okay.
He had in the back of his car, we sold clothing. That's, in the back of his car, stacks of clothing. He'd open the rack. He'd go out there. He'd hang the stuff on the rack. He'd go in the store and the guy's like, okay, here, I'm showing you this and I'm showing you this and I'm doing this. And I was like, no, this cannot be what it's all about for me. So I realized I definitely wasn't gonna be a road sales rep. And
but how cool that you got to see that.
So cool.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, very cool. And like, it's very interesting for me. And what we're doing now, taking it from where I started to trying to pull it through to the future and use those skills, because my dad, which from sitting, is like the most amazing salesperson that's literally ever existed.
His office is right next to mine. We share a wall, so I hear him on the phone. And yeah, the way he just talks to people and the stories he tells while he's having a conversation, it can be the first time. So yes, he is like the epitome of a salesman.
He is the epitome of a salesman. And I'm so proud every day when I walk in here that he gets to walk in here and say, look at what I created. Look at what all this effort and energy that I put in did. And like, we're continuing after all these years, and 72 years is a significant amount of business, about amount of time to be in business. And so it's amazing. I'm so lucky, first of all, for what he built, his effort, his going every day and busting his butt and working and look at what I have, that I feel a huge responsibility to be like, okay, how do I take this into the future?
72 years, a really long time, especially when you look at retail and the retail space and how much it has evolved. You tell the story about, one buyer and making the phone call and the racks of clothes in Ohio and selling them out of the truck. Let's fast forward now to 2026. Live selling is everywhere right now. I want to know when you first heard about live selling. Maybe it was QVC, maybe it was HSN, but more importantly, when you realized, hey, we got to get in on this.
So I think it was a slow sort of burn. So I'll take you back to like what happened was in 2005, we were doing 80% of our business with JCPenney's. In 2010, it was 0. So it's a huge, shift in like, okay, how do we survive? We still had a little business with Sears, who was headed to going out of business. We had some business with Cracker Barrel, but we had to figure out, how do we stay in business? Like, my dad's doing fine, but I need to make a living and continue.
And you wanted to keep it going, and you wanted to keep it going in more of a modern way.
Yes. So at that point, I created some websites, taking the product that we have and selling it direct to consumer. And that was the first sort of evolution into like, oh, okay, there is a future here of something that we can do.
Like the e-commerce space.
Right. Okay. So we had the flagshirt.com and bandedbottom.com. Banded bottoms are like the products that we sold to JCPenney's for so many years.
Which you guys know, banded bottoms, you may be thinking, what are they talking about? But it's the shirts with the collar and the band on the bottom, a little forgiving in the torso area.
A lot forgiving in the torso area.
Every time I'm talking about you guys and what you've built and I say banded bottom and people kind of look at me, and then I'll walk them around the office and I'll show them the shirt. And they're like, oh yeah, I know that.
I know. My grandfather used to wear that or whatever. That's usually the best part I would get is I'd go to JCPenney's and I'd lay the stuff down, and the guys would all be like, when you get older, you're going to wear this? No, I'm not going to, but
somebody is, and somebody's going to love it. Okay. So e-commerce.
Yeah. So e-commerce. So we started doing that. I started learning a lot about direct to consumer and marketing and different avenues. Like there's other ways to be able to do this than just sell directly to wholesale.
Right.
And then there was the evolution of drop ship. Okay. So drop ship is like Kohl's was one of our customers. Kohl's asked us if we can store merchandise and they can sell it on their website and we can ship it for them. Okay, that's another avenue of sort of like, in my mind, it's thinking about all these different ways that we can survive or continue to do business. And then what happened was in about 2017, we have this warehouse here, which you are here. The warehouse is 51,000 square feet. We have employees here. We were doing only distribution for ourselves at that point. And my dad and I came to the conclusion, like, either we need to sell this building because it's too big for the amount of business we're doing, or we need to rent space to another company. At that point, we rented space to a home decor company. And they were here for about 7 years. When they left, I started the third party logistics, which means that if you have a Shopify store, we ship for you. So you don't have to do any of the back end work. And so from the 3PL, my process was, I want to make it like a 3PL incubator. I have been successful up to a point. And at this point in my career, I really wanted to bring people around, helping them. So we transform the space. We have a WeWork type location in the front of the space. And the idea is there's people coming and going that I can help, that I can consult, that we can work together, that we can figure stuff out. In about, I would say 2024, I don't even know how I learned about it. Somebody told me about Comment Sold. Okay. And Comment Sold is a live selling platform. I started watching it. I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And Comment Sold is like Deep South Pout.
Right.
Which is like boutiques.
Yeah, boutique stores.
Boutique stores that are doing HSN, QVC, whether they were doing it on Facebook or they were doing it on their website. These people were doing live selling. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I see the potential for what this is. But it was kind of in the back of my head at that point. And like, this is something I want to do. And really, I was thinking of it more like I can sell these stores our merchandise, because they're doing well with it. So that was kind of like my thought process. And then the 3PL started growing and I started seeing more brands in here. And it's really an evolution of learning, like, where is the business, right? And for me, the more I keep going, where I can take the business is in live social selling. Because for us, the way it works at retail, if you're going to wholesale, you have to have a brand. Okay. I could tell you all my brands here. We have Classics by Palmland. We have American Summer. We have Linda Anderson, none of which anybody is going to know at all. It's not when you not off the name. And if you don't have that, there's no stores that are coming to you saying, we want your merchandise. Okay. We're lucky that Cracker Barrel is one of our big wholesale customers, because we are who we are and we do everything we can to make them successful. But you need to figure out other channels of distribution. And so that's where live selling came in for me. And obviously I think it's a huge deal, and the future is unlimited potential.
Yeah, no, live selling is everywhere right now. I think it's like estimated to be like a 25 or 26 billion dollar market worldwide for the year for 2026. So when I because the way I think now is definitely different. But when I thought of live selling, thanks to thank you, Brett Stern. It was QVC and it was HSN, right? Which had been around. I remember as a kid watching QVC and watching HSN. Those two have evolved. QVC in 2024, you said 2024, which is interesting. When it was first on your radar. 2024 was when QVC started selling live on TikTok 24/7, just to keep their company going. You and I got together, mutual friends, right? Because isn't that the best way to meet people and to explore different options? And we are on this path to do live selling, variety of products, variety of people. It is exciting. It is fun. There are so many platforms right now that are doing live selling. You mentioned Comment Sold. So that's more of like for a private web, like on someone's website, if you will. The Bamboozer's another website. We also have Whatnot. We have TikTok Live. Amazon, eBay, everybody's doing something live now. Does it blow your mind from 2024 when you first, when it came across your radar to where it is right now in 2026?
Honestly, no. I think it should be more. Like, if you look at China and what's happening over there, and like maybe even I was in China. So this came upon sooner. Maybe the last time I was in China was in 2019. Okay. In 2019, I was in some city in China, and there was a girl in a store doing live selling in 2019. And in China, it's like huge, right? So I'm surprised it hasn't come here and been bigger for what it is here. But it's also, there's different ways to be able to do it, which we've experienced, right? So there's There's Whatnot, which is more of an auction style and a frenetic kind of infomercial-esque type feeling. Fun. People love it. It's kind of like a little gambling, a little gamification.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
there's FOMO, like you don't want to miss out
Yes.
on the best deal.
And that can be, maybe that's the way to do it. There's TikTok Shop, which is kind of a cross section of where it is. And then there's doing it yourself, which is like kind of the old school HSN way and trying to do storytelling and figure it out. But for me, it's all about community. It's the community watching on Whatnot. It's community watching on TikTok. It's like, these are your new friends that are out there. And I think you and I feel the same way, where it's like, we're not out there to take advantage of these people. We want to bring people in and have fun throughout the process. That's important.
And I love that you use the word community, because I truly think that's what live selling is all about. So think about it. We all used to go into the brick and mortar stores and buy something, and you're interacting with a human being, right? You're interacting with a person. Then we all got really comfortable just buying online, where the thought of actually driving to the mall or going into the store was like, there's no way. Now I feel like there's this return, not 100%, right? But wanting that connection with somebody. So you don't have the person in the store telling you that you look fabulous or why you need this, but you're listening to this person who you become a community member with, right? Explaining something, why it has helped them, why it has served them, how it makes them feel. And there's something just about human nature.
Yes.
We're craving that.
I could not agree 100%, especially with AI coming out and all these things. People want community, and it's difficult to be in person and to get places. It is a huge part of why this is successful. Even the gamification, you feel there's what happens. People win at an auction on Whatnot, and they're congratulating the other people. Like, it's fun. It's fun to be a part of something bigger than yourself and to figure stuff out. And like, it's just fun to watch, and it's fun to be a part of trying to bring these people together.
And we are not just entering the world of live selling. We're taking it a bit farther. We said at the beginning of the show, we said to Va Voo. You see it behind us, and we promised you that we would get to that. So Brett, let everybody know what To Va Voo is, because there's a few different branches of what we're working on here.
There are. We'll see if I can remember them.
I did not bring the Post-it. I have it on my desk, and I didn't bring it in here, so you better remember.
I will remember. So we have To Va Voo is the parent company, and then we have To Va Voo Trading, where we buy inventory and the talent helps us to be able to sell that inventory and gets a percentage of what they sell. We have To Va Voo Branding, where we develop brands with influencers and athletes. And we do that through live social selling. And I'll kind of go into what we're doing with athletes in a second. But then we also have To Va Voo Consulting. So if there are brands that are out there that want to do live selling and don't know how to do it, there's a lot of brands that are like, I don't know, it seems like a big deal, but it's like a big lift. I don't really understand how to do this. I got to hire talent. I got to figure out how to do it.
Where do I start?
Where do I start? And so we do that for a fee. Also, we have the 3PL. So we do all the distribution. We can help with sourcing. These are avenues that are even outside of the scope of To Va Voo. We have To Va Voo Philanthropy, and that's something we could talk about also. That part of what we're doing is we want a percentage to go back to when we talk about community and we talk about mental health around people who are out there who feel alone at home, and that's what they're doing. We're going to try to figure out a way to give back to that community. And I'm on the fifth one, and I can't remember. Oh my God! There, you take that one. We have To Va Voo Academy.
How are we going to forget that one, Brett?
I'm sorry, To Va Voo Academy, which is a huge, very important part of this thing, because we have the most amazing, trainer here and caring. It's almost like Jen is our mom here with To Va Voo Academy, taking care of hosts and training them. Because what's happening is, in today's age, people are going live on their phones and they're sticking their phone up and they don't have the tools to be able to be the best on camera that they can be. And so we've created To Va Voo Academy so that we can train them specifically to be live sellers, but it also trains them on how to be on camera and that type of stuff. And I think one of the things we didn't say before about when we're going live is that we have a host and we have a person who's trying to sell something or an influencer. And that's a big difference than a lot of people are doing on live selling now. Right now, most people are by themselves or they're with their friend. We have a professional, and we will have professional hosts that are out there who are guiding the conversation. When you watched QVC, when you watched HSN, there was never just one person there. There was always a host. There was always a person out there trying to guide the conversation. And I think that is something that is missing. And that kind of leads me into the athlete part of it, right? So I was a college athlete. We have NIL out there now. And I'm sure most people know NIL, the athletes can get paid now. But a lot of these schools are struggling to figure out ways to compensate these athletes, especially in Olympic sports and non-revenue sports. And what's happening is we are working with those schools and those athletes so that the athletes can bring us their audience and we can help them monetize that audience. So what we do is they bring us the audience, we either develop a brand with them, and they get trained by Jen. Jen is
they're in good hands, I promise.
Yes, they get trained by Jen, which is a huge benefit to what we're doing. And they bring us their audience. Either we sell the products that we have from the trading company, or we develop brands with them to be able to make it grow. And this is where the potential, and again, it's taking care of people, taking care of those athletes, helping the schools, that's it. How do we help and build community without taking advantage of whoever the influencer or the athlete?
Yeah, there's no exploiting these athletes.
That's correct.
It's more, we want them to be part of our community. We want them to be part of our team. And whether it's the athletes or whether it's another host or live seller, it's just making sure that good people are around good people, and storytelling. And, we always hear, tell your story, share your story, tell your story. There's a reason why. Because it matters. Yeah. So we'll take the athletes, for example, obviously, and you were an athlete, so you can, we said we would circle back to this. The identity of athletes, especially at a high level, your sport becomes your identity. And we understand why, right? The amount of hours that are put in, sometimes, the only praise you get is because of performance. So then you put your worth, based on the praise that you've received based on your performance. We want to showcase these athletes, not only obviously for what they do on the field or on the court or wherever it is, but also as people. And we want to get to know them and we want to share their stories. And if there's a certain product, if it's a supplement, if it's a beauty product, if it's something that they love, we want to hear why. And we want to be able to show that to an audience.
That's right. And it's about authenticity, right?
Everything's about authenticity.
A lot of what you see online is people who, they don't care. They're just like, okay, here, buy this. This is what they care, but they're getting paid.
They care about making money.
Right. They're getting paid money. And we want to do it kind of the other way. And we get with the athletes and we say, okay, what do you love? Right. Okay, I love this brand of makeup. Okay, we're going to figure out how to get you that brand of makeup, and we're going to figure out how to showcase you being able to show off the makeup and make the most money by doing this. And the other piece of it is athletes now are getting money, but the minute that they're done with school, it's like, you said, my sport is over. The hell do I do with my life? Like literally that is talk about mental health. That's a huge problem, huge problem, right? So, okay, what do I do with my life? And so we want to offer them like, hey, if you built a brand when you were in college, now you have this brand that has equity. We can continue to sell this brand that you have a business, or you can come work with us, or we can even help you. These skills that you're learning and doing this live selling, their interview skills, they're all the, all these things are, and we're going to make you feel comfortable. Like, I think a lot of these athletes, what happens is the schools are very busy. The athletic departments are very busy. The athletes are very busy. And so it's like, okay, we got you this deal. Everything's rushed. Go make the thing. And where's the content? Where's the content? Like, we just want to be like, hey, all you need to do is turn on your phone. We'll set the time with you. You're here. We'll guide you through this whole thing. And then they feel comfortable, they feel better about themselves throughout the process too. Because as an influencer, like, we're all like, oh, I want to be Jake Paul. I want to be whoever this, all of our kids are like, oh, I want to be. And like, it's just like tennis. It's just like softball. It's just like, there's only one Jake Paul. There's only one person who, why? Because he's amazing at what he does, whether or not we think he does not. Kim Kardashian, what does she do? I don't really know, but she's amazing at what she does.
Somebody's doing something right.
Right. And so, and everybody's like, oh, she's just a person who obviously gets it and knows how to do it. And so, like, it doesn't just happen. It takes work and effort and time and energy. And that's what we want to show these people.
And that's what we're doing when it comes to building to Va Voo. And it's the reason why we've kind of given it these different pillars, these 5 different pillars, because we want it to be about so much more than just live selling. Are we ready to explain the name?
I don't know if I can. Yes.
I don't know if I can either. That's why I'm serving up the question to you.
Michelle, who works for us, and Adam, who's one of my partners, they're from Israel. And Michelle came in one day. I don't remember when we were talking about.
Yeah, I remember standing there.
Oh, we were talking about the calm before the storm or something like that. And she's like, oh, it's like that Jewish term, Va Voo. I don't even know the exact one. We have to ask Michelle what it was. And so I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And so the domain was available. And for me, the name is you have to have the domain, and the name takes on the life of what the brand is. So I never felt like it matters that much what it's called. It's cute that it means the calm before the storm, because we know this is going to be bumpy all the way through, but we want people eventually recognize Va Voo for these 5 pillars and the values that you and I and Adam and Michelle and all the people that work here stand for. That is what is important to me. And that's what people will look at, because nobody's going to know from looking at it, what is this, but the calm before the storm is really what it means.
like how we kind of tweaked it, where the tú is like the Spanish
That's
tú,
right.
as in you, because it's not just about us. It's not just about the team behind the scenes, but it's about all of you as well. That's a little bit about Va Voo. We have so many more stories to share, and I can't wait to see where this goes.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be interviewing people. If you guys have any friends out there who you think would be beneficial for us to talk to, whether they're live selling hosts, whether they're retail store owners, whether they're former, TV anchors, whatever, we want to be out there and build our community and be talking and helping in any way we can with building community and selling product.
Brett, this was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
All right, we'll get you in the hot seat again soon, and we will see all of you again soon as well.
Thank you. It was good.
That was awesome.
There you go.
You weren't nervous looking at the camera.
You know what? The thing is, with seeing the camera,
I